my name is Mavis Robinson, and I grew up in Bourne. I actually moved here in 4th grade, and this building, the Stoll School, that's how I know this building most. This place is special to me because I feel like this is the community that sort of helped me feel like I fit in Bourne. In 4th grade, my first experience was Peebles, and it was a very confusing place to go to school. It felt like the stairs went everywhere and nowhere. I feel like I really never even, got my head straight as a 4th grader. And then for 5th grade, to come to Stoll School, which was within walking distance of my house. My first year here, I walked with my older cousin Mark, who was just a year above me. That was for 5th grade. And then for 6th grade, I walked with my younger cousin Kate, who was just a year below me. So this school was part of my neighborhood. It felt very small and comfortable in a wonderful way. Not small intellectually, though, because I feel like some of the seeds of my intellectual curiosity and my love for this town were planted during my time at the Stoll School. I have two really prominent memories of teachers that really inspired me, and one of them was Mr. Tomlinson. He was a math teacher, and he also, while we were learning our figures, he did a lot of talking about local history and current events. And so one of the things that he talked to us about, I remember, was this old house where they had discovered murals made by a famous artist. And I knew this house because this house was on my trick-or-treating route, and we just called it the haunted house. And so to hear that there was suddenly something valuable and interesting behind this really run-down facade of what in my little kids' minds was just a scary place to run by on Halloween, was really piqued my curiosity. I did some creative writing about it, making up stories of kids who would go into this house and then be able to go into the mural and have an adventure. And now returning to Bourne as an adult, this is the house that now serves as the Briggs McDermott House Museum, run by the Bourne Society for Historic Preservation. And to see how far it's come, and I'm so appreciative of all those adults that told stories and got support to save this beautiful house, which is now such an amazing centerpiece of our little historic story that we tell, and is sort of planted the seed of me being interested in local history, where I've taken on a leadership role as the current president of the Bourne Historical Society. The other teacher I feel like I need to mention is Mrs. Selfridge, or Miss Selfridge. She ran a 6th grade class that I still remember the lessons that I learned in that class, because they weren't lessons. What she did is she encouraged us to explore, to study. I remember next door there was a house that had a tree with these really crazy looking fruit. And bringing in the fruit, they were things that kids would throw at each other. But Miss Selfridge invited us to figure out what that thing was. And I remember going to the encyclopedia and reading up on the Osage orange, and finding out about how people brought this tree here and it was rot resistant, and all this information that I still remember because of that little encouragement from this teacher to have us to explore and study. And my love of learning was born in that 6th grade classroom with the help of Miss Selfridge. And 5th grade was not easy for me. I moved here in 4th grade. I did not have friends, and I was a socially awkward kid. And so to be part of a small community, it seemed like the teachers actually really got along with each other. We knew all the teachers. We didn't just know the people that taught in our particular classrooms, but when you go from class to class, you see everybody because of the way that the school was designed. But when I think about what makes a community important, Mr. Morrissey, the principal, obviously was the leader and was sort of, setting some of the goals. But you can sometimes forget some of the roles that aren't seen as prominent in forming a community. And one of the kindest, most special relationships that I had with an adult was with Mr. Eldridge, who was the janitor. And I think he saw that I was not fitting in, and he very kindly gave me an opportunity to be his helper and to be the person that would help count the milk and get snack ready, and to give me a place to belong within that community where I felt like I had a job to do, a little bit of an important job. Now that I'm an adult, I know having a child help you is not really helpful, but he really made me feel like I was helpful, made me feel like I was important, and gave me a place to belong, and gave me something to do when I was a little lost, and I didn't want to go to recess because, I didn't know quite who to play with. So I'm so appreciative. I feel like I lived an educational experience, which was even more of a throwback to earlier times. I went here in 1979 and 1980, and to have that small community school, which resembled Little House on the Prairie more than any sort of modern depictions of elementary schools, felt very special. Certainly made me who I am today, and fostered my love of this community, my love of learning, my love of local history, and my appreciation to those adults who pulled together to create that environment for those of us kids who are living in it.